Hello friends, I am back with another video. So today I am going to talk about asking questions, and in our society it's really rare that we get to ask questions. We learn to ask questions, but it is very important in the learning process of a person that he or she is capable of asking questions, and questions are not silly, not naive, nothing. I believe that questions are as valid as they can be if they are making a confusion in your head, bringing doubts, and it is important to clarify those questions. So, as I have told in my previous videos, that I have done my master's and PhD from IISc, and one of the biggest benefits of it was that I learned to ask questions. I would give the credit of this to both my colleagues or batchmates as well as my professors. Professors at IISc are very humble and gentle, and they're very open and very encouraging in terms of asking questions. They like that you ask questions, as well as it was maybe a fortunate opportunity and a fortunate coincidence for me that my batchmates, one batchmate especially, his name is Satendra. He was my master's batchmate, and he was blatant in his questions. Like he was very unabashed in his questions. I would not say blatant, but very unabashed and very. He was not. Would never withheld himself when he was asking questions, and that encouraged not only me but many in my batch to ask questions. And professors would never dismiss any question, saying that, oh, this is a silly question, why are you asking this and that. They are very encouraging, very patiently answered the question. Many times this happened that they were not ready with the question answer of the question, but they would get back to us, and even if we don't get, so the I feel that this satisfactory answer. And then during my PhD, I have batchmate called Karthikeyan. So he also was very open in asking questions. So both in classes as well as, so in PhDs we attended number of seminars of experts who visited our department from various parts of the world, various universities, or various organizations like NASA or EPA or NOAA or many others, as well as there were seminars given by students. There were seminars or PhD thesis colloquium given by senior students when we were junior, or PhD defense and etc. were given by students. And like asking questions was seen as a very good quality within a candidate. So and I, because of my master's training, I got this idea that okay, so asking question is good. And by the time I entered my PhD, I was not, I would not say very comfortable, but I was okay in asking questions. Although every time I stood up or raised my hand to ask a question, I would still have butterflies, especially if I am attending a very big seminar, say in the central, in the big halls of IISc. But in the department, I would feel very what do you call, comfortable when I was supposedly asking questions. And kind of during my PhD, both Karthik and me were quite well known in terms that we used to ask many questions, and professors would encourage. So in sometimes it happened like this, that we did not ask any questions, so our professors would call our names and say that please ask some questions, or why don't you ask some questions. And then it became a practice for me that I would during the seminar I would take a notebook, take down points where I had some doubt, to ask questions. And if I'm asking for, but as I become a little bit senior, and I would also ask questions to my juniors to purge them a little bit, and help them think a little bit more about what work they are doing, and help them explain their work a little bit more. So asking questions also helps a person to present their point better. So many a times it happens that people who, so for example, if you are giving a colloquium, and there are so many things. So in colloquium, if you know that in a PhD colloquium, we present the work that we do in the whole of 4 to 5 years of PhD within a time frame of around 40 minutes. So that is a very, very short time for to explain the huge amount of work or research work that we do. And it is really difficult for a person to come across very candidly to share the work that they have done with the appropriate highlights, so to say, like the key takeaway points or the key research ideas. So many a times asking good questions would give the chance to a candidate or a person to explain their point a little further, and that brings out that the rigor or the novelty or the ingenuity that is present in their work. So that is an excellent way of thing. But yeah, I would say that I was very, very fortunate that I joined IISc, and as a master student especially, and got the right kind of environment to inculcate this habit of asking questions. And this is, it may be less or more, but I have seen in general that students, if we compare students graduating from IISc with any other government institutions like IITs or things like that, I feel, I may be wrong, so you may correct me if I am wrong, but this is my opinion, or humble opinion, that students from IISc are more equipped, or they stand out because they ask a lot of very good and pertinent questions. And that is all we have as a researcher or as a scientist, to ask pertinent questions, uh, so that we can build a dialogue on science and research and how things are happening and how it will help. Uh, it I think most of you would experience that throughout our um, uh, school education. It is not, and as well as school education, it is our our curiosity is not nurtured to the extent that it should be nurtured. And I don't blame the school system, because they are burdened by finishing the syllabus and managing some 50 odd students in a class, etc. So it is really, really difficult for any teacher to tackle questions at that extent, or nurture the curiosity of each and every student at the extent possible. Also, it is also the culture of the class, because many a times if you ask a question, fellow batchmates who are also kids, so I don't blame that, but the type of environment they come from, asking questions is really looked at as that the person is ignorant, or the person doesn't know, or the kid doesn't know, or So it is seen as a symbol of not as a good virtue, I would say. So, but it is not the case. So if someone who is a young school student or a college student who is watching this video, I would tell them that asking questions is one of the best virtues that you can have, the best habits that you can inculcate. And please feel free to ask questions, even if people feel that you are asking a very stupid question or dumb question. And why is this person asking this question? Please don't get bothered by that. Make a habit of raising your hand and asking questions. So it will, and start from the very homely environment, like your school or college or class, the classes where your teachers are most liberal and they entertain questions. Try to ask simple pertinent question, try to make it a habit. And if you really make it a habit, then this habit will take you a long way, is what I feel. Because in the because now we are living in a globalized world. We are not anymore in a we are not anymore confined in our geographical location. Most of us, when we grow up, we tend to work for international organization, multinational companies, etc. So there the culture would be very different. People across the world uh, are very okay and encourage the virtue or habit of asking questions. And that was my experience when I attended many of the international conferences. So please, this is a request, and also this is a suggestion from my side, that please start inculcating the habit of asking questions. Thank you for watching my video.